The disappearance of Michael Rockefeller, a mystery shrouded in the jungle. On November 19, 1961, Michael Rockefeller, the 23-year-old son of New York Governor and future U.S. Vice President Nelson Rockefeller, vanished off the coast of New Guinea. His disappearance remains one of the most enduring and mysterious cases of the 20th century, sparking speculation, intrigue, and endless theories. Was he lost at sea? Did he fall victim to the remote and treacherous jungle? Or did he meet a darker fate at the hands of the indigenous Asmat people, known for their ritualistic practices? Michael Rockefeller's story is one of adventure, cultural fascination, and unanswered questions, a tale that continues to captivate and haunt the imagination. The Rockefeller legacy. Michael Rockefeller was born into one of America's wealthiest and most influential families. The Rockefellers were known for their immense fortune, built on oil and banking, and their legacy of philanthropy and political power. Yet, despite his privileged upbringing, Michael was not content to remain in the shadow of his family's name. He sought adventure, meaning, and a deeper understanding of the world. After graduating from Harvard University in 1960, Michael joined the Peabody Museum's expedition to study the Dani tribe in New Guinea. This journey ignited his fascination with indigenous cultures, particularly the Asmat people of southern New Guinea. The Asmat were renowned for their intricate wood carvings and complex rituals, which Michael admired deeply. The Asmat people lived in a remote and challenging environment, surrounded by dense jungles, swamps, and rivers. Their culture was rich and steeped in symbolism, but it was also misunderstood by outsiders. Rituals involving headhunting and cannibalism, though increasingly rare by the 1960s, were still remembered as part of the tribe's historical practices. For Michael, the Asmat's artistry and way of life represented a connection to something primal and profound, something far removed from the sterile world of his upbringing. Determined to document and preserve their traditions, he embarked on a second expedition to New Guinea in 1961, this time to collect Asmat carvings for a museum exhibit in New York. The fateful expedition, on November 17, 1961, Michael Rockefeller and Dutch anthropologist René Wassing set out on a canoe trip along the coast of New Guinea. They were traveling near the village of Otsjanep, an area known for its strong Asmat presence. The sea was rough, and their canoe overturned miles from shore. Stranded, the two clung to the vessel, drifting in the open ocean. After nearly 24 hours adrift, Michael made a fateful decision. Believing he could swim to shore, he strapped 2 empty fuel cans to his body as makeshift flotation devices and set off into the water. His last words to Wassing were, "I think I can make it." Wassing was rescued by locals the next day, but Michael was never seen again. The Rockefeller family mounted an extensive search effort. Nelson Rockefeller arrived in New Guinea with a team of experts, helicopters, and boats, sparing no expense in the attempt to find his son. Despite weeks of searching, no trace of Michael was ever found. Theories about Michael's fate quickly emerged. Lost at sea, the most straightforward explanation was that Michael drowned or was carried away by currents. Animal attack. The waters around New Guinea were home to sharks, crocodiles, and other predators. Killed by the Asmat. This theory suggested Michael reached the shore but was killed by the Asmat, possibly as part of a ritualistic practice. The lack of concrete evidence left all possibilities open, ensuring the case remained a mystery. The controversial cannibalism theory, the idea that Michael Rockefeller fell victim to the Asmat people, has been the subject of much speculation and sensationalism. While cannibalism and headhunting were historical practices among the Asmat, they were largely suppressed by the 1960s due to the influence of Dutch colonial authorities. However, reports from locals and researchers hinted at the possibility of a darker fate. In 1969, journalist Milt Mucklin traveled to New Guinea and collected testimonies suggesting that Michael had been killed and consumed in a ritualistic manner. Anthropologist Carl Hoffman's 2014 book, Savage Harvest, presented further evidence supporting this theory. Hoffman claimed that oral histories from Asmat elders and other sources indicated that Michael was killed in retaliation for the killing of Asmat leaders by Dutch officials in 1958. Despite these claims, the theory remains controversial. Some argue that it perpetuates stereotypes about indigenous peoples, while others believe it is the most plausible explanation. Beyond the cannibalism theory, alternative explanations for Michael's disappearance have been proposed. Assimilation. Some speculate that Michael survived and chose to live among the Asmat, abandoning his former life. Escape. A few fringe theories suggest that Michael staged his disappearance to escape the pressures of his family name. Political cover-up. Others believe the Dutch authorities may have covered up his death to avoid political embarrassment. Each theory adds another layer to the mystery, but none has been definitively proven. The Rockefeller family has remained largely silent about Michael's disappearance, focusing instead on preserving his legacy as an adventurer and cultural advocate. Nelson Rockefeller's refusal to discuss the case publicly fueled speculation that the family knew more than they let on. However, it is equally likely that the family preferred to grieve privately, away from the sensationalism surrounding the tragedy. Though his life was tragically cut short, Michael Rockefeller's passion for cultural preservation left a lasting impact. The artifacts he collected from the Asmat are housed in the Michael C. Rockefeller wing of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, providing a window into the artistry and traditions of a remote and misunderstood culture. His disappearance also sparked discussions about the ethics of cultural exploration and the responsibility of researchers and adventurers to respect the communities they study. More than 6 decades later, the disappearance of Michael Rockefeller remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century. Whether he was lost to the sea, killed by the Asmat, or chose a different fate, his story continues to fascinate and provoke debate. At its heart, Michael's journey was a quest to understand and connect with a world far removed from his own. His disappearance underscores both the allure and the danger of seeking meaning in the unknown. For Michael Rockefeller, the price of that search was his life, and the world is left to wonder about the man he might have become. The jungle of New Guinea holds its secrets tightly, and the truth about Michael Rockefeller's fate may never fully emerge. What remains is the story of a young man who dared to explore beyond the boundaries of his world, and the mystery of where that exploration led him.